Let's take a look at diversity in the workforce. Diversity is simply the existence of differences. In human resource management, it deals with different types of people in an organization. This brings up a number of questions. Why do we want to have diversity in organizations? What can we do about any disadvantages? So let's discuss diversity as it provides both opportunities and challenges to human resource management. Is diversity really all that important? The answer is yes. There's currently a shortage of skilled workers, and there will be for the foreseeable future, so to exclude a qualified person because that individual is different in some way is counterproductive to business success. Discrimination based on protected characteristics is also against the law. According to the United Nations, in late 2011, the world population hit 7 billion people. However, the world Caucasian population is shrinking as more whites die each year than are born. It takes about 2.1 children per woman, the fertility rate, to replace the current generation, but the estimated 2016 fertility rate in the European Union was 1.61, and in the United States was 1.87, while worldwide it's 2.42. As of 2012, white births were no longer the majority in the United States. White women are having fewer children than minorities, while the growth of mixed marriages has led to more multicultural births. It should be clear that increasing cultural diversity in the workforce poses one of the most challenging human resource and organizational issues of our time. Why do we need diversity? Diversity is important and needed because as the white population continues to shrink and the minority populations grow, interacting with a wide array of customers and suppliers increases sales, revenues, and profits. In other words, embracing diversity creates business opportunities. Organizations today have begun to value the diversity of their workforces simply due to the fact that as they become more diverse, they can serve a larger and more diverse customer base. Diverse employees allow us to see the diversity around us, in our customers, other stakeholders, and much better than if our work groups were homogeneous. As a result, we're better able to provide products and services that will appeal to the larger and more diverse groups that we come into contact with during the course of doing business. What are the advantages of a diverse workforce? The primary advantage of a diverse workforce comes from the ability to stimulate and provide more creative and innovative solutions to organizational problems. How does a more diverse workforce add to the creativity and innovation of an organization? Creativity is a basic ability to think in unique and different ways and apply those thought processes to existing problems. And innovation is the act of creating useful processes or products based on creative thought processes. Basically, if we look at a problem from different perspectives, we find out that there are more facets to the problem than originally we realized. Have you ever been in a situation where you just couldn't find something? You asked someone else to help you search for it and they found it almost immediately? A diversified group looking at a problem will look at the problem from different directions and in different ways, and therefore it will discover more of the aspects of the problem than a single person would or would a homogeneous group. But why is creativity necessary in business today? Organizations in today's fast-moving industries have to be able to innovate and change to adapt to their external environment, their competitors, their customers, and changes in technology. If an organization is unable to rapidly innovate, it will most certainly die in today's business world. Also, creativity is a rare commodity in organizations. Why is it hard to be so creative? Most of us have learned not to be creative. We've been told over and over as we've grown up that we should do things the way everyone else does them. In other words, we've been trained not to be innovative. Over time, this is an effect of causing most of us to give up on being very creative and just go along with the way the majority of people are doing something. We lose the ability to think differently. This ability, called divergent thinking, is necessary in order to come up with creative solutions to a problem. Divergent thinking is the ability to find many possible solutions to a particular problem, including unique, untested solutions. By introducing diversity into our workforce, we assist the process of divergent thinking. Different people think differently because they have different backgrounds and have solved problems differently in the past. There are several things that can cause diversity to break down the organization instead of allowing it to become better and more creative. Conflict is simply the act of being opposed to another. Conflict occurs in all interactions between individuals, and there are many reasons for conflict. Is conflict bad? Not necessarily. Conflict can basically be broken down into functional conflict and dysfunctional conflict. Functional conflict is how organizations go through the process of creating new things. The opposition itself drives organizations to change. If we don't have conflicts, the organization never changes. However, dysfunctional conflict occurs when conflict gets to the point where creativity is stifled and, in fact, almost all work becomes difficult or impossible because of the conflict's intensity. The second big issue is group cohesiveness. Cohesiveness is an intent and desire for group members to stick together in their actions. In organizations, we've learned that in order for work groups to become as good as they can possibly be, the group has to become cohesive. A third significant issue in diversity is resistance to change. If organizations are used to being less diverse, then diversity can become something that's scary to people in organizations. These items are of some of the most significant, but if you're interested, you can always find out more by reading about the topic in organizational management, psychology, or sociology literature. Diversity affects bottom-line profits, but to do so, some of the challenges associated with diversity, like conflict and reduced cohesiveness, must be addressed. Creating a cohesive, operational, and highly successful diverse workforce doesn't just happen. Successfully managing diversity requires top management to support and commit to diversity and inclusion efforts. Diversity leadership refers to having top-level managers who are responsible for managing diversity. Finally, and most importantly, employees must be provided with training so that they can work together as teams despite differences in race, gender, age, ability, and other factors. Through managing diversity effectively, affirmative action and diversity programs have been used to help women and minorities advance in organizations.